in memory of Grady L. Hilliard, in memory of Charles H. Hilliard. Multiple bulbs were purchased in memory of the Pepperell High School class of 1964, who are no longer with us tonight. In honor of Jimmy Pinson, in memory of Ruth Bradshaw Lloyd, in memory of L.R. Lloyd, in memory of Randy Lloyd, Jr., in memory of members of the Pepperell High School class of 1963, in memory of Dan and Kathleen Smith, in memory of Benny and Belle Toe, in memory of Billy Presley, in memory of Ronald Reagan, in honor of Dan Ware, in memory of Peggy Ware, in memory of parents Clyde and Betty Jean Head and grandparents Charlie and Lily Mae Head, in memory of Chandler Taylor, in memory of Janet, Ralph, and Little Mac Champion, in memory of Billy and Jerry Howell, in memory of Fred M. Howell. In honor of the Champion girls, Marilyn, Martha, Julie, and Sue. In memory of Casey Hopkins. In memory of Irene Hopkins. In memory of Odell Brumbelow. In memory of Vassie Brumbelow. In memory of Arthur L. Bud Triglon. In memory of Hugh Boy Patchett. In memory of Sue Patchett. In memory of C.O. Bud Landers, Jr. In memory of Virginia Bolton Landers. In honor of Coach David Jones. In memory of H.I. Jones. In honor of Mrs. H.I. Francis Jones. In honor of Bill Howell. In honor of Kaylee, Bryce, Blake, Bratton, Caleb, and Bailey. In memory of Tom Reynolds. In memory of Billy Reynolds. In memory of Mr. and Mrs. R. Frank Reynolds. In memory of Frank and Grace Sisson. In memory of Charlie DeMero Washington, or Worthington, I'm sorry. In memory of Opal Lee Highfield Worthington. In honor of Elaine Worthington Stone Tanner. In memory of Catherine Diane Worthington Wilson. In memory of Clyde Trotter. In honor of Jay Knowles. In honor of Bessie Sawyer. In honor of Phyllis Morgan Johnson. In honor of Deanna Morgan Yarini. In honor of Beth Shiflett Anderson. In honor of Tommy and Jerry Blaylock. In honor of Hazel Blaylock Sullins. In honor of Helen Blaylock Pitts Lloyd. In honor of the Pepperell High School class of 1979 and the Pepperell High School class of 1985. In honor of the Blaylock family cousins. In memory of Howard and Omer Blaylock. In memory of Hugh and Roy Blaylock. In memory of Claudie and Willard Knowles. In memory of Jack Sawyer. In honor of Sharon Packer Sullins. In memory of Mary Ann Forsyth Tinsley. In memory of Willard J. Forsyth. In memory of Bessie Forsyth. In memory of Mildred Kelly. In memory of Charles Jean Kelly. in memory of Minnie Kelly, in honor of Sylvia Janelle Keener, in memory of Steve Stansel, in memory of the Gaston family, in memory of Joe B. Mullenix Jr., in honor of Sherry Mullenix, in honor of Joseph Mullenix III, in memory of Joe Poppy Mullenix, in honor of Monica Mullenix, in honor of Noah Shelley, in memory of Carolyn Barron, in memory of Eddie Anderson. In honor of Debbie Anderson, in memory of Helen Swanson, in memory of Mabel Robinson Clements, in memory of Carl Curley Clements, in memory of Murdy Jones, in memory of Hayden Craig, in memory of Wanda Knowles, in memory of Frank Folsom, in honor of Jay and Jerry Knowles, in memory of Howard Blaylock, in memory of John Thomas Freeman, in memory of JoJo Knight, in memory of Joe and Leota Knight, in memory of Marvin, Lenora, and Jimmy Garrett, in celebration of Grady and Josie Knight, in celebration of Easton Brannon Vestal, in memory of the Cole family, in honor of David Kay. In memory of AJ and Katie Ruth Bevels, in memory of John and Flonnie Piles, in honor of the Bevels family, in honor of Eli Poor, in honor of the Piles family, in memory of Sandra Ransom, in memory of John Garcia, in memory of Ron Roller, in honor of Benny and Eunice Smart, in honor of Glenn Dow, in memory of Justin Hatch, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Reverend O.L. Edwards, in memory of Dale and Joan Barker, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Luther Baker, in memory of Debbie Ashley, in memory of Margaret Eden Reynolds, in memory of Charles Roberts, in memory of Calvin Neighbors, in memory of Michael Eads. In memory of former Star Crew member Adam Cox, in honor of Buster and Kathy Scoggins, in memory of J.B. Green, in memory of Shirley Westmoreland, in honor of Danny Smith, in memory of David and Cordelia Smith, in memory of Lick and Lenora Knowles, in memory of Joe and Juanita Dempsey, in memory of Mary Tully, in celebration of Restoration Lindale, in memory of Herman and Mabel Robinson, in memory of Harry Hubertus Grinrod, in memory of Joe Gale, in memory of Ralph and Mildred Jones, in memory of Wanda Jones, in memory of E. Billy Betts, in memory of Margaret Betts, in memory of T.L. Lane. In memory of Marjorie Tucker Lane, in memory of Herbert Slacks, in memory of Clara Tucker Slack, in honor of Roger Mabry and family, in honor of Donnie and Deborah Reynolds, in honor of Pepperell Schools, In honor of George and Judy Bevels, in memory of Reverend John Mathis, in memory of Mildred Willis Mathis, in memory of Johnny Mathis, in honor of Peggy Mathis Morris, in honor of Jim Mathis, in memory of J.L. and Mary Silver and Sam and Gary Eden, in memory of Dorothy Wheeler, in memory of Suzanne Jennings, in memory of Dorothy and Junior Wheeler, in memory of Terry Goss, in memory of Butch Mathis Sr. In memory of Butch Mathis, in memory of Brenda Matthews, in memory of Bob Sewell, in memory of Dr. Louis Hajasi, in memory of Patricia Dunn Caldwell, in memory of Phil Frazier, in memory of Betty West, Tom Bubba Lemming, and Vicki Mercer, in memory of Cricket and Viola Wynn and Jonah May Wynn, in memory of Tom and Dot Moore, in honor of the 8 grandchildren of Mike and Brenda McDougall, in memory of the Swindle and Burkhalter families, in honor of Clyde and Louise Carroll, in honor of the Pepperell High School class of 1964, in memory of Jack and Jeanette Pence, in memory of Philip Cowles, in memory of DeRoy and Opal Kent, in memory of Bo Brown, in honor of James and Brenda Carroll. In honor of Allison Faith Ballard, in memory of Joseph Johnston, in memory of Jeremy Lee Haas, in memory of Beaver and Carolyn Carver, in memory of Jimmy Laughlin, in memory of John Trotter, in memory of Donna Renee Weems. And now the names that we remember in honor on the North Star. In memory of Steve Paget, in memory of Cassie Duggan Payne, in memory of Stanley Payne, in memory of William E.P. Bill Goss, in memory of Sarah Lloyd Goss, in memory of Parker, Martha, and David Henry, in memory of Myra Dempsey, in memory of Montine Smith Culberson, in memory of Linda Johnston, in memory of Annie Pearl Swan, in honor of Wayne and Ginger Binkley, in memory of J.O. Cape, in memory of Louise Cape, in memory of Barbara Whitehead, in memory of Flonnie Green, in memory of Charles Vassar, in memory of Charles and Laura Lear, in memory of Willard Nixon, in memory of Grover Pledger, in memory of Doris Tucker. In memory of Joe West, in memory of Wesley Willis, in memory of Shirley Carroll, in memory of Melvin Bruce, in memory of Sarah Bruce, in honor of the Head family, in memory of Bruce Wilson, in memory of Ernest Wilson, in memory of Mandy Eves, in memory of Papa Haney, in memory of Robert Yearnest Jr., in memory of Dale Maxwell Stone Jr., in memory of Gerald Ellenberg, in memory of Desiree and Ricky McGee, in memory of Owens and Ida Forsyth, in honor of Patsy Roberts, in memory of Francis Sealock Howell, in honor of the Floyd nursing staff, Joseph Wayne Cochran. In memory of Tiffany Ballard, in memory of Teresa A. Young, in memory of Maddie Champion, in honor of Laura Young Simmons, a nurse, in memory of Tillman Jean Edwards, in memory of Don and Artie Hale, in memory of Van Patchett, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. J.B. Oswald, in honor of Charles Brock, in memory of C.J. Logan, in celebration of American traditions, in celebration of Restoration Lindale Incorporated, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Henry Leroy Kay, in memory of Grover Pledger, in memory of Ann Pledger, in honor of the classes of 1978, 2003, and 2006. In celebration of newborn Elias Rayford Leroy. In memory of Connie Sarton Mull. In memory of Hugo Sarton. In honor of Ann Bevels. In memory of Edward Bevels. In honor of the Rome Floyd Parks and Recreation, in honor of the Rome Floyd County First Responders, in honor of Floyd County Public Works, in honor of the Floyd County Sheriff's Department, in honor of the Rome Floyd County Police Departments, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. T.W. Turner, in memory of Sarah Williams, in memory of Virginia Reynolds Ely, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Carl Ely, in memory of Austin Pointer, in memory of Ella Pointer, in memory of Donald Earl Bevels, in memory of Terrell and Mary Little, in memory of Private James Roy Cox, who died in World War II, in memory of Paul Gossett, in memory of Kenneth Kynes. In memory of Jack Henderson, Joanne Kellett Henderson, and Marble Henderson. In memory of Sheriff Frank and Edna Kellett, Irene K. Reinhardt. In honor of Brooks Temple, in honor of Sarah Wright, in memory of C. Max Tolles, in memory of Very Rindo, in memory of Dugan and Emily Swindle, in memory of Lawson Parker, in memory of Reverend Eddie Williams, in memory of Richard Maxwell, in memory of Richie Maxwell, in memory of Paul Brookshire, in memory of Michael Conaway, in memory of Andrew and Dalla Cape, in memory of Arnold and Bessie Bevels, in memory of Albert and Willie Branton, in memory of Johnny and Wileen Baker, in memory of Rudin and Inez Akins and Ronnie Akins. In memory of Ruth McCollum, in memory of Boyd Miller Otting family, in honor of Johnny and Jan Locklear, children and grandchildren, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. L.F. Wilbanks, In memory of Bill Salmon. In memory of Nancy Salmon. In memory of R.D. Harvey. In memory of Roston Beard. In memory of Lila Smith Everett. In memory of Robert McCamey. In memory of G. Howard Smith. In memory of Margaret Darla Kennedy. In honor of Idera Vincent. In honor of Rita Wallace Odom. In honor of Deborah Wallace Howell. In honor of Karen Wallace Johnson. In memory of Casper Nichols Jr. In memory of Kyle Corntassel. In memory of Billy Earwood. In memory of Jack Welchel. In memory of Larry and Angela Watson. In memory of Ronald Sr. and Darlene King. In memory of Kelsey Wages and Baby Wages. In memory of Jenny Wages. In memory of James L. Tillery. In memory of Evelyn H. Tillery. In memory of the Voiles family. In honor of the Green family. In memory of Dorothy and Henry Mullins Jr. In memory of Roy Mullins Sr. In memory of Joanne Annette Swapshire Smith. And we have 3 additions that were not on there, and this is on the north side of the star as well. In honor of Linda Sprayberry, in memory of Susan Carroll, and in memory of Felton Welchel. And those are the names. Those are the memories. Those are the legacy of what we have here tonight. The foundation of a community that we celebrate 90 years of a star lighting the Christmas hope over this community. And we also need to recognize this gentleman right here, because every community needs a gentleman like this. Thank you all for being here tonight, for giving me the honor of listing these wonderful names, because so many memories are brought over the history that I have, only 65 of those 90 years in this area. But thank you.
Sir, Merry Christmas. Y'all give Randy a hand. I don't know how he does that. Some folks just have a voice for radio, and I'm going to get there one of these days. I had someone tell me, I heard you at 5 o'clock in the morning on the radio, and I'm like, well, that was pre-recorded. I don't know, I'm going to get up that early for radio. If that was pre-recorded. The year was 1931. I'll give you a little story. The year was 1931, in the height of the Great Depression, here and all over the world. Captain Mickleham said, he was the agent for the Pepperell Manufacturing Company, and he said, I want to do something for my village that can be carried on forever. And they were like, well, Mr. Mickleham, what would that be? And he said, I want the brightest star. I want it as big as we can build it, and I want it hanging between the smokestacks of this mill. People in the mechanical department looked at him like he was crazy and said, how are we going to do that? I'm not climbing to the top. It's not going to ever happen. There was a loom fixer. His name was Granny Bryant. He loved liquor. He liked to drink liquor. And so he was the only brave person in the Pepperell Manufacturing Company that would climb to the top of each smokestack and install a set of pulleys to hang an 11-foot star, 11 foot wide, 11 foot tall, with 60 bulbs on each side, it weighing over 480 pounds. And it hung between the mill smokestacks up until 2007, when it was retired and put on the hill Eden Mountain. 2013, the legacy began again, and during that time, we still had the Lindale Star, but we needed one that weighed less, that 125-year-old stacks could hold, and so Restoration Lindale decided that it was time to build something that was lighter. But you see, because one man, Captain Mickleham, had the ultimate idea to build a star for his village that could be seen in every mill house, through every bedroom window, still this day, 90 years later, kids and adults in our village are able to see what his vision was. And I'm very thankful I'm part of that. And I know you are. This time, I promise I wasn't gonna get teared up, but I love this star. I don't know about you. Let's get ready to light it up. Y'all ready? All right, let's start at 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light the star. Yay! Merry Christmas. Again, on behalf of Restoration Lindale, Tim Reynolds and the board, we want to say thank you. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the star this year. I tell everybody every year, do not take it for granted. Do not take it for granted. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.